Hi everyone, welcome to my channel License to Roam, where I'll be providing content on football tactics and analysis on European football and the beautiful game from across the globe. You can follow me on Twitter/X at Edward Stratman. And if you enjoy the video, I would really appreciate a like, subscribe, and any comments as I get started and hope to grow the channel. All right, for this analysis, I'll be focusing on Gabriel Martinelli's masterful showing in Arsenal's crushing win over Liverpool, where he was a crucial contributor to the victory from his left wing post as he yet again put Liverpool to the sword. Full of running power and a constant thorn in the side of Klopp's Reds, his intelligent movement, dovetailing with Havertz, dynamism, and quality in possession were crucial towards his success down the left, where he terrorised Trent Alexander-Arnold, exploited openings ruthlessly, and helped unbalance Liverpool's backline to generate room for others. Right, to start with his depth running, and he was just always alert to gaps in behind, exploited when Trent Alexander-Arnold was ball watching or preoccupied or got drawn to another player, and he just really ruthlessly got in behind in so many situations using his pace, the timing of his runs, and his knowledge of his teammates' tendencies. As soon as they got the head up on their preferred foot, he was on his bike ready to attack space, both in slower play and in transition, like this one in transition here, just really exceptional run. Obviously, with Alexander-Arnold pushing up quite a lot to join the attacks, more in wide areas, not so much infield due to the way Liverpool were deployed. There was a huge amount of space down the left for him to charge in onto the counter, draw Canate out of position as well, and just use that strength, balance, and running power to really sort of make things happen. In this situation, he surged in behind on the counter and then whipped in a lovely cross that Saka's almost finished. Probably should have given Arsenal the lead, but yeah, it was just a great display of what he brings to the table and how dangerous he is when running into space and can create something out of pretty much nothing just on the counter there. And obviously his powerful running was so great at drawing opponents as well, where he was just 1v1 on the touchline. Obviously beat Trent quite a lot, but the way he just cuts in powerfully, he's got that sort of crouched posture where he explodes and changes pace and direction so well. Just a really huge weapon. And in that case, he drew multiple markers. There's sort of 5 around him there, then 1 a foul. So just that direct running, gaining territory and disrupting oppositions was so crucial. Here's another fine example of his running where Alexander-Arnold's been caught up the field. Havertz is pinning the 2 central defenders, and Martinelli doesn't need a second chance just to maraud into that space to stretch Liverpool backline horizontally and vertically. So just so alert to the openings, and his teammates obviously deserve credit for spotting these openings, but it was a real theme this. Same here on the counter. The 2 Liverpool players, Canate and Alexander-Arnold, are trying to chase him back, but he's got free on the counter in that channel. All that space ahead of him to wreak havoc. Here's a nice little situation which led to Arsenal's opener, where he's just out wide there pinning Canate because Alexander-Arnold's out of the picture. And that's created the room for Havertz to slot in just to exploit that gap. Obviously, Van Dijk's pushed up to Odegaard, and Havertz can just use that space to run in behind with Martinelli pinning him wide there. Obviously, just a key role in that goal there after he's just helped manipulate the back line to exploit the weakness. Another situation where he's noticed Alexander-Arnold out of position, stepped up when he probably shouldn't have, and it's forced, obviously, Canate's in his usual position, making to have to make that covering movement now, but Martinelli's just so sharp to spot the weakness and surge in behind there. Another situation here where Trent's pushed up onto Havertz, amplified the space available to him in behind, which has once again had the flow-on effect of calling out Canate into action. So that's manipulated the space, stretched horizontally and vertically, and can just create some really advantageous situations again for Arsenal. This was the case for the goal in a lot of ways, and the way he rotated with Havertz, which we'll touch on later, was a really key aspect of his performance too, just to alter the reference points and cause that little bit of extra chaos for Liverpool. And ahead of the goal he scored, obviously, he's making that run between the 2 defenders. Havertz has just performed a little switch with him. And here's the next phase where that run's really placed a lot of confusion under Van Dijk, misjudges the situation. A little bit of luck to get onto the rebound as Liverpool sort of make a real mess of this, but just the catalyst was the initial rotation, that brilliant running in behind, which was just an encapsulation of what he did so well in this game. Another one where he's rotated with Havertz, done that little switch. Liverpool sort of all ball watching, looking at other players, and Martinelli just slips into that space and probably should have scored here, but just got the shot blocked. But just a really hard man to keep tabs on. Another situation where Martinelli switched infield, drawn both Trent Alexander-Arnold and Canate. Havertz has all the space in the world, 1v1. which then forces the chain reaction to draw out a player, and then Arsenal can find those runners in behind with the gaps that are created. But just very smart, well executed rotations. And just this dovetailing just caused Liverpool constant issues. Another one here where Havertz and him have switched, made that room within the back line, that space there, and Martinelli can just surge in behind as well. Saka's got Gomez there. He can't really help. Another situation where the rotation, Martinelli's pinning two defenders there. Havertz has got goal side on the inside of Trent Alexander-Arnold there, and he's got all the space in the world, which created a brilliant chance for Arsenal, which they didn't quite finish. But Odegaard's roaming just helped amplify and accentuate the space and the confusion for Liverpool's backline there. Another example of their interchanges that just allowed them to break up the field here and exploit that space in the box. Look at the positioning of Konate and Trent Alexander-Arnold on Havertz, just showing how effective their mechanics were. And they constantly bore fruit for Arsenal in terms of space creation and manipulating the defence of Liverpool. Another really nice way they coalesced, Martinelli and Havertz, was obviously with Havertz being a bigger man, offered a great reference point and target man for long balls. So then Arsenal could then populate themselves around him and position himself around him to mop up those second balls like shown. And especially with Trent Alexander-Arnold pushing forward, that just gave Martinelli even more scope to get on the ball and attack again from a high position against the unset Liverpool backline. Same situation there. Trent's pushed up high like he did. Havertz is the target. Martinelli got a heap of space there just to receive in a forward-facing posture, immediately add momentum and get that dynamic advantage going over the retreating, backpedaling defence. See a couple other things about his game that deserve note were obviously the nice blindside runs in behind the defence there, just taking advantage of spaces and obviously defences collapsing inwards when the ball's on the opposite flank. Just as you can see here, really clever, weighing his options up nicely in the box to gain separation, just to hold his run as the defence drops deeper. While he didn't get on the end of this one, it just shows how clever and just intelligent he was and how awake to space he was. Another little one where he's formed a 3v2 out wide, which is then the catalyst for him to play in his teammate in behind. So just these nice little variations just really elevated his menace and just constantly caused headaches for Liverpool, who struggled to keep tabs on him throughout the match. There's obviously Arsenal's average positional map showing how high and wide his average position was and how close he was to Havertz. Same as this one, just showing the connection he had, the high positioning, that it really just constantly kept Liverpool guessing and really threw a spanner in the works for their game plan while allowing Arsenal to flex their muscles, with Arteta certainly getting his tactics and selection spot on for this one to beat the high-flying Reds, who it must be said were a bit undermanned for this one. Right, that's the end of the analysis. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Would really appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video and have a great day. Stay tuned for the next analysis.